Great, wonderful. Thank you, Renee. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And I think Renee and I and a few others, this is our first membership meeting for January 2026. So we're glad to be here. It's exciting. It's exciting opportunity for all of us, and we're certainly glad. I want you to know, in honor of this day, that I ate a sleeve of Girl Scout Thin Mints this afternoon. Just wanted to make sure that I was ready and charged up for the occasion. Um, just a few things, that kind of New Year kind of announcements. Uh, you may have noticed, but to be honest, I doubt you noticed that the agenda has changed a little bit. We're experimenting with format to make the meetings run perhaps a little bit more smoothly or coherently. So we may be tinkering with that as time goes on. One of my responsibilities in the new year is to reappoint all committee chairs. And so I'll be in touch with those existing individuals in those positions to chat about reappointments. I also need to appoint an audit committee. And so if this is something that interests you, it's a short-term assignment that we perform an internal audit every year, starting soon. So if this is something that interests you and you'd like to work with that team, please let me know. We also typically have two representatives, kind of a lead and co-leads, representatives to the Virginia Master Gardener Association. Pleased that Jill Lewis is going to be one of our representatives, but I'm looking for a co-lead to work and to share those responsibilities with Jill. So let me know if you are interested in either doing that or perhaps just getting more information about what that entails. So with that, I'd like to move on with the agenda, and we have two sets. We have two sets of minutes to approve. That's right, Barb, right? Right. Um, so we have November. Of course, December was the holiday party, so we had no business. We didn't conduct any business there, but we do have minutes from both of those meetings. So I think I need to do those separately. So I'd like a motion to approve the November minutes. I'd like to have a motion to approve the November minutes,
So
please.
motioned.
Thank you,
Second.
Diane. Second, thank you. Is there any discussion, any noted changes or alterations? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
And again, the December minutes, which was all the fun stuff. I'd like a motion to approve the December minutes, please.
So moved.
Thank you. A second. Was that from Ginger or Will?
Third.
Third from Chris. Any comments about changes or corrections? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to celebrations and concerns. Let's start with celebrations. We need some celebrations.
I have one.
Oh.
We have a new Master Gardener
Oh.
from the class of 2025, Edith Green.
Yay.
Not here, and I
Yay.
haven't caught up with her yet, so hopefully we will soon.
Wonderful.
Would you like the birthday slide now as part of celebrations?
Yes, let's do birthday slides.
Okay.
I don't know what it says that the first birthday celebration of the year we're celebrating an Eastern skunk cabbage was the flower or plant of the month, but we have quite a few.
Part of January birthdays.
Quite a few January birthdays. Thank you, Catherine. And I'd say quite a number of these folks are on the meeting with us tonight. So I hope
Yes.
everyone is having a wonderful birthday month.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Catherine. I
Alrighty.
have some under concerns. I do have some sad news that perhaps a number of you have not heard yet, but yesterday we lost Beth Henderson. As some of you know, or may have been aware, she been fighting cancer the last 6 months or so, and and I know many of us were at her home just last spring for the open garden. It was so wonderful to see her in her beautiful garden. So I'm just so saddened to have to report this. Normally we don't announce it or send an e-blast until we have a obituary with some information, but I didn't want to pass up this opportunity to share that with those of you who may not have heard. But we will send an e-blast once we have that additional information, so everyone will know what the plans are for her commemoration. So, Catherine, you may have more things.
I have slightly wilted report. In December, we sent cards to Mary Johnson. She had knee replacement. Phil Petruska, I think he had a hip replacement, and a sympathy card to the family of Luann Hughes, who passed away, I think on Christmas Eve. And then this month we sent a card to Teresa Bronx, who's thinking of you. She's had some health problems.
Wonderful. Thank you, Catherine.
Mhm.
Appreciate that. I think 2026 is starting out a little rough, but
Yes.
let's everybody kind of stay in good spirits and healthy. So, Bob, you're up next. You have a couple things for us.
You ready, Bob?
We have a lot of financial information, and I'll try to go through it.
This is what I want to do. This is what I want.
We'll start with November's report.
Let's get this.
As probably everybody noted, the report was submitted twice. The first time showed a deposit, which I'll get to in a minute, for the training account, which was initially posted as a tentative or a pending deposit for the month of November, but it didn't clear till December, which is why I redid it to move those funds until the following month. We had several Speaker Bureau payments and the beginning of the payments for the holiday lunch. So we had a small amount of income in November. Conversely, we had we started ramping up for the end of the year expenditures, as you can see in the general account. A couple of things worth noting here in publications for Wetlands Watch. Those were the Native Virginia plant guides, which we bought 200 plant guides at $4 each. And then we received them in December and have actually started selling some and pulled some out for the oncoming class. We had some background checks, and speaking of checks, I had to get some new checks for our banking. So that was 200 checks, $140. They really gotten expensive. Total expenditures for the general fund was a little over $1,800, leaving us for the month with almost 29,000. Training account, as you can see, if we can go up on that.
Let me do it this way.
Yeah, like that. There was
There we go.
no income, no expenses. That remained constant at $1,400 for total funds available, a little over $30,000, and the bank book and the checkbook did reconcile. No issues there. Can we go to December?
December.
I forgot to ask, was there any questions on November? Okay, it's pretty cut and dry. A lot more activity in December, as you can see. The biggest thing was the holiday luncheon payments arrived and cleared through that month. We had some minor Lugalware sales to finish up the year. And we collected at the holiday luncheon $220 in which were deposited. And you'll notice at the expenses, I wrote a check for that amount and sent it to the food bank. And interestingly enough, we received a Speakers Bureau check from the Friends of Fred Hewitt for a presentation that Ziggy gave in July. So I guess their treasurer there was kind of asleep for a while. Anyway, moving on. We spent $1,200 on equipment. That was primarily speakers, amplifiers, and some new audiovisual equipment. Remember earlier in the year, we got $1,000 from the Green Thumb group to use towards audiovisual enhancements, and we spent that and a few dollars more. Additionally, we had a $500 deposit to the or contribution to the Downtown Norfolk Council to go towards additional funding for a large community garden that they maintain. Holiday luncheon, I'll go through the details on that later in another slide. And square foot garden, we had to buy some materials to get ready for the planting that's going to occur in the spring. And other than some minor miscellaneous charges here and there, that was it for the end of the year. All tallied up to a little over $5,000, leaving us with $25,476 and change for the end of the year in the general fund. And as you can see, we had 22 training class deposits for a little over $3,000. The reason why it's an odd number is because obviously if the deposit's made by Venmo, they take 3.5%. If it's made by Zelle, they take about 1%. And therefore that skews the number off a little bit. But a little over 3,000, and we had some expenses that we incurred from previous bills that finally came due for room rentals and some background checks, $675. Total funds available at the end of the year was $29,303 and change. The bank book was very close to that. We didn't have a lot of outstanding checks, and they did bank book and the checkbook did reconcile. If you could bring up the holiday luncheon summary, I want to just go through that very quickly. The point of this is that we had a number of miscellaneous charges and expenses adding to almost $2,000. And when you added up all the sources of revenue, including about $166, which were left over in the hospitality line, we just about broke even. A slight overrun, $116, which is actually, when you consider the uncertainties involved in trying to plan for this and establish a proper amount of dollars for the payments, I think was very well done. And so congratulations for the holiday party committee for doing a very good meal. I enjoyed it. I think everybody had a wonderful time, and also for coming very, very close to breaking even. Well done.
Thank you.
There we go. Let's go to the end of the year summary. Okay, this is the training account, which just runs through.
Let me get, do you want to go? Sorry about that.
It doesn't matter. We can go to either one of them. Basically, we had about $4,000 more income than we had projected, which is kind of normal because we get a lot of cats and dogs and bits and pieces we count in here. Like, for example, the money we receive for the holiday party is counted as income, but it also the money we spend on it becomes an expense, so it sort of washes. We received some nice donations of over $2,000. And then the miscellaneous other things were really just cats and dogs, things that came in. over the course of the year or reimbursements we received. I guess the point I want to make, if we can scoot down a little bit for the year, is that we budgeted, there we go, $44,000 and spent 32. That was a very aggressive budget we put together last year, because if we had spent all that money, we would have only had about 10,000 left. That also assumed that we would not have taken in as much as we did. As it turns out, we spent about 33,000, which is good. It's more than we spent the previous year, and we're starting to spend down some of the large bank account we have, leaving us with 25,000, roughly 500 at the end of the year, which is down from 32,000. And so basically we spent about $6,600 more than we took in, and that's reflected by the fact that the general fund balance has gone down. As you probably remember, our budgeting for the next year, we are also aggressive. I think we budgeted about $34,000 in work that we hope to accomplish. And if we do achieve that, we should spend down our corpus just a little bit more. Can we go to the next? Okay, now this is just a summary for the training account. As you can see where the money all went. We had roughly $4,000 in deposits, which include money we received this year for next year's class. So that's a little misleading. But basically the bottom line was we started off with $1,800 at the beginning of the year for the training account, and we're going to end up with about $3,800, reflecting the fact that we haven't really started spending for this year's training class yet. That will start occurring in January. And as you can see, the ending bank balance was about $30,000, and as previously noted in the December account, $29,303 with our funds available. Are there any questions on that? Well, if not, that concludes my monthly reports for November, December, and the annual report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Good job, Bob.
Thank you.
Any questions? That was very clear, but any questions that are hanging out there, please let us know. If not, we'll move on to updates. Megan is not with us tonight, although she's been on a lot of Zoom meetings with us already this week. I guess the only thing I would like to mention, well, of course, one thing is the building. There's no official news about the building reopening. That's Huntersville for the occupants. For those of us who do know some other folks who talk to who are either going into the building or wanting to go into the building, have, I think, gotten word that there's some additional issues, so they're not making the kind of progress. I don't think there's an imminent date coming up soon that anyone's going to go back into that building. So, of course, I can't speak to the VCE position on that, but I don't think anyone's going to be back in the Huntersville building anytime soon. You know that they're still battling the air qualities and whatever it is that's growing in there. The other thing, I don't know that Megan has really announced to this group. She's talked to the steering committee a couple times about a grant that VCE has been selected to work with, and that's a faith-based tree canopy project where faith-based organizations in the city of Norfolk, and it's not just Norfolk, it's Hampton Roads, but Norfolk is participating. The organization, the grant funder is reaching out to faith-based communities in the city to solicit their involvement in increasing tree canopy on their property. And master gardeners are being asked to assist to help them determine How many trees might their property be able to sustain? New trees, site surveys to determine where the trees might go and what kinds of trees are suitable. So we did have a Zoom meeting on Tuesday to get some initial information about this, but I think once it starts, it's going to be pretty quick. There are about 10 faith-based organizations in Norfolk that have asked to participate. So we think there'll be about 10. And so once we get additional information, it'll be quick that we'll need to get some teams together to do some site visits. So you'll be hearing more about that. And that's all I have. Vicki, Second Vice President, are you ready? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't read.
You skipped over Renee. Did you want to go back?
No, I want to go back to Barb.
So I have a couple of change of statuses to report. Susan Nichols to inactive, Lorraine Schreiber to inactive, and Kim and Mitch Schwecker have extended their leave of absence until the end of June. And that's all I have. My New Year's resolution was not to whine. So I'm not going to talk about the hours.
Thank you, Barb. We appreciate it. Now, Vicki.
Okay. As we get ready for class training classes to kick off at the end of the month, all of our commercials for our projects are scheduled, and we stand ready to meet the class of 2026. Also, I think we've hit on this before, but there will be additional youth trainings for all projects that involve children, conducted by the 4-H agent. Tentatively scheduled for February the 16th, the first one, pending location booking. And that will be Little Sprouts that gets the first one on February the 16th. We have co-lead changes for the East Ocean View Children's Garden as Gil Gillespie is stepping back to a little
Never mind.
Blanche Wise, Keith Redman, and Karen Paul have stepped up to carry on in that fine tradition there. Also, we have a change of co-leads for Little Sprouts. Tom Kent has stepped back, and Ben Potts has agreed to replace him. So, more to come on the Zoo Garden. We're still working that with Gil. So, and that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you, Vicki. Do any of the project, Catherine, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that February 16th is President's Day holiday.
Yes, we are aware of that.
Okay. All right.
Megan is not sure if she would be able to book the city room that they started to book because of it being President's Day. I suggested Pretlow Library, so we are pending a location.
Wasn't the library closed also?
Yes.
I don't
Yep.
Okay. To be determined.
Do any of the project leaders have news or announcements for the group?
Mhm.
That me? No.
Lion Oak will be starting up in March, but we may start early if we have a nice day like we did last Thursday. So I will send out an email if we decide to have something before March.
Thank you, Ben. Anyone else? Jenny, I've got you down, but you can go now if you want.
I don't need a big space.
Yeah.
I'm just here with a remember the date kind of a memo. The spring plant sale for the Norfolk Master Gardeners will be held on Thursday, April 16th from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. And again on Friday, April the 17th, 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Location is the Hermitage Museum and Gardens. They're our favorite place, the Cobblestone Courtyard. Basically, I just wanted to give you the dates, put it on your calendar. Think about, please don't go to Spain or Arizona. Just, come on down to the Cobblestone Courtyard. There are a couple of heads up that I wanted to remind you of. We're going to have all three of our regular events, plant sale, bake sale, and the green elephant and books. So it's time for us to ask the membership to start going through their closets, garages, and reach out to your neighbors. We've found that in the past year, some of our donations are getting kind of skimpy. We've already cleaned out our garages. So I think of some news sources to get us some donations. That would be great. Donations for the plant sale. We'll get back to you on exact locations and times and things like that. But that's rolling along. We've got a bunch of plants already in holding. The bake sale is going to be Ginger again this year with her grand crew. And wait a minute, I got that wrong. I reversed it. Bake sale is
Blanche.
And elephant is you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I always do that. I always get it mixed up. If you plan to do seeds for us, please consider. We would like to have some milkweed. That would be great. I've never grown it from seed. If you have any green thumb in that one, that would be great. And we need spring herbs if you want to grow stuff for us. And I mentioned green elephant in the books and the bake sale. And just remember that we are raising funds so that we can continue all of our fantastic programs. And it's a huge educational opportunity for all of us. So come on out and help us tell people the right plant for the right place in their beautiful garden. Thank you. Any questions?
Jamaica put one in the chat box. Is only garden stuff allowed for elephant donations? And Ginger replied, preferably, but it's not it's not like a yard sale. It's
Right.
kind of.
No, it is not a yard sale.
However, we've taken vases and baskets and things that you would use inside, not necessarily for gardens, but that look gardeny. Trying to remember some of the things. So yeah, it's not a yard sale. It's garden focused.
So garden decorations like gnomes and stuff are okay?
Sure.
Oh yeah. Yard art. One year we got a donation of some glass windows.
Yeah, stained glass.
In a heartbeat. People want to use those for decorations in front of displays and stuff. So anything that you would consider using in your yard to decorate and make it more beautiful, other people want to do that too.
Yeah.
I think Kate put in the chat box, any garden decor. I think that would be a yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
She put that well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jenny.
All right.
Next up is update on our 2026 training class, and Will is going to do that tonight.
Diane got a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see Diane's question.
I had an update for community outreach.
Okay.
Susan Bahachi asked me to announce that the Jam and Jams on January 31st. If you are going to volunteer, please get back to Dusty and let her know that you're going to volunteer for Jam and Jams. We are going to have a community outreach seed table at Jam and Jams that Helen Hahn and others are going to be manning at the seed table. So please get back to Dusty if you're going to volunteer. I still think they need volunteers to pass out fruit and nut trees. So that's all I need to say for that.
Thank you, Diane. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Will, you ready? Do I see?
Happy New Year, everybody. The training committee is fired up. We're ready to go. Class starts January 27th, which is 12 days away. And this will be the culmination of a lot of work starting, I think, back in early July or maybe late June. We started planning for this year. So we've got 23 interns, trainees. God, I'm glad VCE is not listening to this. Get fired. We have 23 trainees, and thankfully, many of you have answered the bell for to be mentors. So thank you for doing that. What else to say about this? We're going to be primarily based at the Botanic Garden, for I'd say maybe a little over half of our classes. We're doing 3 classes with Virginia Beach, and we'll continue with our great heritage classes, the wetlands and the pruning. One thing we could still use help on is food for the class. Beth Nevels sent an email out this past Monday, asking for help with a Sign Up Genius. So if you guys can help with that, we would appreciate it. You do get some hours if you make some food for the class. That's an easy way to get some hours and fun if you're a cook at all. So thank you for that. And otherwise, we're just excited to get going. And we have our meet and greet next Tuesday. We'll have an hour and a half long meet and greet where the mentors will meet the trainees. That's all I got.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will. You know, people have said to me, oh, this must be your slow time of the year. You know, Master Gardeners must not have anything to do this time of the year. Well, I think we all know that's a wrong answer. Lots of stuff happening in very busy times. Greenhouse. I know Ann Miller is with us tonight. Ann, can you give us an update on the greenhouse?
I'll give you an update, and Denise is also gonna contribute it after I'm done. And Denise, if you would call out the people that have been helping, because I don't have a list of all of those. So we're in a conundrum right now. I had hoped to be up and running by January 1st, but we do not have the hose bib in, which is not a game killer. We do not have a way to get in on the weekends yet. And I've been coordinating with Steve Traylor because Steve Patton's on a hiatus. I haven't talked to him since probably the 1st of December, and he's the one that can authorize stuff. Steve Traylor can't have somebody go do the hose bib for us. So I've been on him about trying to get together with the decision makers at the city to make sure that we can get in. There's some major concern because what I understand is that one key does all the locks on the fences in there. And so we've talked a little bit about it, and maybe we can get something like a real estate lockbox or something like that to go. But he sent out an email today to me and to Joey and to a couple of the people at the city. And of course, Denise is involved too, trying to get us a meeting sometime next week toward the end of the week, which is Friday. So we're really diminishing our growing season. So we're concerned about that. The only other thing that we got to do for the greenhouse too is get the air pump in that's going to inflate between the 2 layers. That's got to be hung up high and has to have little hoses go to the other side. So that's one of the major things we've got. So that's some ladder work. I'll be talking to a few people and see if we can't figure out how to do that. But anyhow, I don't know if you've been out there. It looks great. Got great tables. We got all the pavers down. The heating people were out there yesterday. They put in a part on the heater to regulate the gas flow so we can get it to come up. 2 weeks ago when we were out there, it fired up, but it didn't fire up correctly. And that's why they went and got the next part. Now, when they were out there yesterday or Wednesday, they said they couldn't get it to fire up. And so thought we were out of gas. So I talked to A&B Propane. I went out there today and took a picture, and the valve says it's somewhere about 80% full. So that's one other thing I got to figure out. And then there will be some bills for the HVAC guys out there. And then if we can ever get going, we'll have heat and fans and everything. So lots of little hurdles. I just hope we can get something growing by the end of the month. So I'm going to turn it over to Denise. She and I forgot who have a real good idea to get started since we're not in a good spot. So Denise, would you please take the floor?
Yeah. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as far as the people that have been helping lately, it's been Bob Kelly and Ziggy and Kat, just finishing up getting the pavers down. Jean's been come a couple times, and Julia Gabler and her husband were a big help with getting the pavers down. So thank you all for all that hard labor. And so now what I'm thinking is I was inspired by a newsletter that the Master Gardener sent out, I think it was last week, about winter sowing using the winter water jugs. And so I'm thinking about getting a group of people over to my house maybe next Wednesday to try sowing some seeds. And we're just going to grab whatever seeds we can find. I'm going to get some from Helen. And if anybody has any extra water jugs or those 2-liter soda bottles, they're welcome to drop those off at my house to help with that supply that we'll need. What I'll do is I'll get Susan to send out an e-blast with details on that. And but send me an email if you're interested in helping out.
Okay, thank you. You're muted, Ann. Yeah.
Any questions, anyone?
Didn't I hear something about plugs? Aren't we also looking to do a startup
Yes,
with plugs?
Yeah, we Lori Knight had got us in touch with a farm or somebody, and we have an account with them, so a tax-free account that Bob set up, and we can buy plugs. And I think as late as we're starting now, that's what we will do versus a lot of seeds. But we can't order them in advance. We got to order them right when we need them. And then we have to take whatever they have. You know, we can't be real picky, but I think it's reasonable and I think it will work fine. I do have all the, a whole bunch of pots already bought, 4-inch pots. I've got the trays where we can put the seeds or put the plugs and grow them. We have our Pro Mix. Got a lot of materials ready to rock and roll as soon as we can get the greenhouse access figured out.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. And to everyone who's involved with this project, thank you for your tenacity to hang in there with this. We're going to get there. We're really going to get there, but I know it's been a long road. It has, but thank you, every one of you. Other business, I want to report the steering committee, approved a memorial donation of $100 to the Botanical Garden for Lou Ann Hughes. As you may recall from the e-blast, her celebration of life is this Sunday at the Botanical Garden, so we thought that would be an appropriate location or to make the donation to. It's from 3 to 6 p.m. It is kind of an open event. However, we have learned that there will be some, speakers or comments made, and that will start around 3:30. So there are a few of us who are going, and anyone who thinks they might want to attend, to keep that in mind. That about 3:30 is about when the a little program will start. We had a question, Bill, the new native plant guide, and it's at first glance it looks just like the old one, except that everything's been updated and it's quite a bit larger. It's, I don't know how many pages larger than the old one, where we're real pleased with the price. It's pretty much the same price as the old one that we purchased. This steering committee had a lively discussion about how to distribute this or how to sell it. And we decided that we would, for all intents and purposes, sell it to our members, to ourselves at cost. and we're calling that $5. So if you would like to buy one for yourself, it would be $5. We'll be selling them at the plant sale and other venues where they might be have an audience or and we're going to be selling them $10 to the public. So so everyone can buy one for themselves for $5, but then all the other sales will be for $10, which is pretty consistent with what we're seeing other organizations do. Now, what I do know, Bob Kelly, you have them, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I would like to say one thing about the sales. We can sell them using either Venmo or Square. However, we cannot use Zelle. We've been cut off by the bank. They had a security issue, and they told us that our risk is too high now, and they won't let us use Zelle for the time being. Don't have any details, but so the two methods for purchasing are obviously cash and check. They'll always gladly accept it, or you can charge it to Venmo, or you can use Square.
Now, what are the logistics going to be? Do we all come over to your house to buy them? or
No.
Is it going to be like the next?
We are having
meeting?
another meeting in February.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have sales in February at the membership meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wishes to order one because they can't make it, they can always send me a check. I would prefer not to have cash in the mail. Send me a check and I'll hold one for them for the next time I see them.
Ginger, you have a question?
Yeah, how many did we say we ordered? Or did we?
We ordered 200. We have about 160 some left.
Okay.
Yeah, a few have been purchased, but they're also being set aside. The training class will get one.
Right.
They'll get
23 for the training class.
Okay.
Any other questions about that or anything? Yes, Will?
Where can we get a PDF of the new version?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know that. I don't think I've seen one yet. No, we'll stay on top of that because certainly the old one was, readily available at no cost at a PDF, but we have not seen one. And these came in late. They came in December. And they're still being distributed to organizations who have who pre-ordered them. So I don't know. I can't answer about the PDF, but it's a great question. Yeah. So anything else? Well, under announcements, we just have reminders. Our next membership meeting is Wednesday, the 18th. And of course, that's an in-person meeting at the Botanical Gardens. And as Diane reminded us, we have Jam and Jams on January 31st. Is there any other business for the membership? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Did John just put up a link?
A link, yeah.
John Pickle has a link. Is this the new one? The new one? Oh, it does appear to be the new one. Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you distribute that or put it out on our? Put it out for us somewhere. I can't seem to get it. Never mind. Sorry, I got it now.
Well, at some point, we probably need to do an e-blast about purchasing the guides anyway. And so we can include the link for the PDF at the same time.
Good.
Is Barb going to tell us our hours?
1 hour for the lecture and 45 minutes for the meeting. Good with that, Susan?
Yep, that's what I would say.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone. Renee, we did it. We did it. We got through our first membership meeting.
So exciting.
Good job.
Exciting. Thank you, Catherine, too. for helping out. Good night, everyone. It's good to see
Good
you.
night. Yeah.